In the remote fjords of Norway, history is not just buried. It is sleeping, waiting. In the summer of 2018, a team of archaeologists unearthed something that should have remained hidden. It wasn't a sword or a crown. It was a warning. A runestone, covered in elder Hvítdalr inscriptions. Most spoke of a great village, Hvítdalr, the White Valley, and its prosperity. But one rune was different. The Álagablæði rune. The curse malice rune. It wasn't carved. It was burned into the stone, a scar of pure hatred. The head translator, Dr. Alva Lindgren, felt a chill that had nothing to do with the Nordic wind. The stone told of an experiment in eternal vigilance. An experiment that went horribly, horribly wrong. The runestone spoke of the village's greatest defenders, a brotherhood of warriors known as the Hvítdalr, the wolf coats. These were not ordinary men. They were chosen, berserkers who could tap into the primal spirit of the wolf, becoming unstoppable engines of fury in battle. To protect Hvítdalr from a looming threat from the mountains, the village Valva, a seeress, devised a ritual. Using a potent mix of sacred henbane, music, and runic magic, she would not just unleash the wolf spirit within these warriors, she would bind it. She would push their minds into a permanent state of hypervigilance, a waking dream where they would patrol the borders between the worlds of the living and the dead, forever guarding the village. They called it the Vættvörn, the Spirit Watch. They thought they were creating eternal guardians. They were wrong. They were creating a door. And they were inviting something else to walk through. The ritual began. The warriors drank the sacred brew. The Valva chanted the forbidden runes. The air grew thick and cold. The men's bodies convulsed. Their eyes turned from blue to a feral, spectral yellow. The wolf spirit had been awakened. But the Valva's magic was too strong. She didn't just awaken the spirit, she shattered the barrier that kept it at bay. The human soul was not merged with the beast, it was evicted. Trapped in a tiny corner of its own mind, forced to watch as a primal, alien consciousness wore its skin. The Hvítdalr did not become eternal guardians. They became Várðlokur, cage beasts. Their bodies were cages, and the wolves within were rabid, starved, and aware of their imprisonment. The first thing they did was turn on the village they were meant to protect. The runestone's final passage was not written in ink. It was scratched in a frenzy, and in some places, stained. It describes the night the cage beasts broke free. It wasn't a battle. It was a slaughter. The creatures moved with a speed that was unnatural, their forms shifting between man and wolf and something in between, a thing of shadow and matted fur and too many teeth. They were not of Helheim, the land of the dead. They were from someplace older, someplace between. The space in the roots of Yggdrasil where even the gods dare not look. The village of Hvítdalr was wiped from the map in a single night. Not a soul was left alive. The runestone was their only epitaph. Dr. Lindgren and her team dismissed the story as a fascinating, dark folk tale. They packed up their finds and left. But that night, at their hotel in the nearest town, Dr. Lindgren awoke to a sound outside her window. A scrape. Like a branch dragging against the glass. But there were no trees near her window. She looked out into the darkness. And in the reflection of the glass, she saw it. Standing in the corner of her own room. A tall, emaciated shape, its head cocked at an unnatural angle. Its eyes were closed. But as she watched, frozen in terror, its eyelids slowly began to peel open, to reveal 2 points of faint, sickly yellow light. The runestone was not just a history. It was a warning. And by reading it, by speaking the words of the ritual aloud in their translations, they hadn't just learned the story of the Vættvörn. They had finished it. The cage beasts had found new scholars to haunt. New minds to whisper to in the dead of night. And their eternal watch continues.